What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. It feels like well over a month ago that Future scrubbed his Instagram clean and then unfollowed everybody. To me, this is such a weird tactic. Like, we know what it means. If you're a Future fan, you know what that means. It means it is album time or almost album time, but usually he comes out with something like within a couple weeks. I think a lot of us were anticipating something coming out in January, and now we are in March. It's March 1st, and Future closed out February by releasing a brand new song called I.C.W.N.T. This is an acronym, of course, for I Can't Wife No Thought. So after keeping us in suspense for well over a month, is Future's return a good one? Is this going to drum up anticipation for whatever Future plans to drop next? I would say the answer is yes. So, I.C.W.N.T. is produced by TM88 and surprisingly ill-mind. When you click play and listen to the song, you know right off the bat this sounds like a TM88 beat. It sounds like something Future would rock with. And if you really pay attention and listen to the beat, I think in the background is where you can hear Illmind's contributions. There's certain sounds in there that I'm listening to and I'm like, okay, that has to be Illmind's footprints on this beat, because I don't think TM88 would have added like this extra stuff that you hear in the beat. And so I like it. I like that it's like a collaboration between those two. You know, you have mostly TM88 for like the whole like skeleton of it, and then you got Illmind joining in, adding in his presence. It's a nice touch, and it's one that I'm kind of curious on, like, how does TM88 and Illmind end up in like the same studio? They don't exactly work with the same rappers. They don't exactly make similar beats. So I'm wondering how they got together. I hope this song ends up on Future's next album. I feel like this might just be like a warm-up. I've seen like various publications labeling this as a freestyle. I don't know if I would call it a freestyle. It seems like a fully fleshed out song from Future. But I can get that it might not make his next album. I mean, we don't even know anything about that album. We've heard that it could be Beast Mode 2 with Zaytoven, or it could be something entirely new. Who knows? But I would say if it doesn't end up being Beast Mode 2, I would like to see I.C.W.N.T. on an album. It's really grade A Future raps. This is him in his element, going off, talking about hoes, cash, cars, the flashy lifestyle, etc. And there were a few lines on here that really caught my attention. Not necessarily in a bad way, but in a head scratching way. I'm listening and I'm like, wait, these are worth discussing. So he says, smashed her in my drop, got some crazy top. So rappers just like to have sex in their cars? Like, often is this a very common thing? I feel like you hear a lot about that, like on records. And I'm like, well, Future is tall. I think he's over like 6 foot. He's like almost my height. So I'm like, that can't be comfortable for you. Unless you got like a really roomy car. But, I mean, I'm not an expert on cars, but I don't think a drop top is a very, spacious car. So I'm like, this is crazy. Bought the freak a little puppy. Now, unless this is a slang term that I'm not up on, it just seems like a really weird line. Like, it just jumps out at you. You're like, okay, he has his girls. Okay, he's having threesomes with that girl. Okay, now he's buying her a puppy. What? I guess at the end of the day, that sounds like a pretty sweet deal. If you're a woman, you get to mess with the rap star, and then he'll get you a puppy for when he up and leaves and goes to the next freak and buys her a puppy. It's like a never-ending cycle. I wonder how many puppies in real life Future has actually bought women, or if it's just like a line. I mean, I could be looking too deep into it. You might be thinking, what are you doing, Sermon? It's just a line. It's not meant to be broken down like this. But it did catch my attention, so I felt like I had to break it down. Coating on her tongue, I'm drinking syrup a lot. Because I'm drinking syrup a lot. I feel like out of everybody that raps about codeine, who is not named Lil Wayne, I think Future is the most creative when it comes to that. It's like to a point where you're worried almost. You're like, damn, you've been drinking that much syrup that you can transfer it like it's saliva to the person that you're kissing. That's crazy. And so Future always has those kind of like codeine lines and you're just like, they're very over the top, but you're like, damn, is this really how he's living? Overall, though, I really enjoyed Future's I.C.W.N.T. I'm glad that I've been able to use the acronym, the letters, properly and not mess up throughout this review. Like I said, this one should be on his next album. If not, I will just include it as a bonus track because this one is good. This is the Future that I enjoy. I didn't really talk about the hook, but I think the hook is not too repetitive. It's kind of broken up. There's 4 lines of I Can't Wife No Thought, but between those you have 2 lines that are different. So it's like a little bit of diversity in the hook. It's not just I Can't Wife No Thought 8 times in a row. So those are my thoughts on Future's I.C.W.N.T. I Can't Wife No Thought. After you listen to this one, let me know what you think about this record in the comment section below. And then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter at SermonsDomain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.